reacts tonight to claims the Yorkshire Ripper Peter Sutcliffe may have killed 36 people. He was convicted of murdering 13 women between 1975 and 1981, but a book published today suggests the figure is much higher.
West Yorkshire Police have dismissed the claims and any suggestion of a cover-up. We'll hear from one of the authors in a moment, but first, Phil Bodmer has this report.
Peter Sutcliffe was jailed in 1981 for the murder of 13 women and attempting to kill 7 others. Most of his victims were prostitutes. Many were beaten about the head with a hammer, their bodies then mutilated.
Well, the hunt to capture the Yorkshire Ripper was one of the biggest inquiries in British police history. However, it was later criticised by Her Majesty's Inspector of Constabulary, Sir Lawrence Byford.
The damning report highlighted a number of police failings and concluded Sutcliffe was probably responsible for many attacks on unaccompanied women, which is not yet admitted. Now a new book called The Secret Murders by former police officer Chris Clark and author Tim Tate claims Sutcliffe killed a further 23 victims. The true number of deaths has remained hidden due to an alleged cover-up and evidence suppressed to spare the embarrassment of various police forces and the Home Office.
It's really shocking news, but it's not completely new to me. I mean, we have heard over the years that there's been suspicions that he killed more than he was convicted for. I've found some closure with regards to my mum and her death. The families of these that were attacked all those years ago, they haven't found closure, and if there is any evidence in this book, I think it should be reinvestigated so that they can find some closure.
West Yorkshire Police say the interests of victims of crime and their families are of paramount importance.
Well, senior detectives met with Mr Clark last year but were not provided with any new evidence to support his claims. West Yorkshire Police are continuing with an ongoing process to review historic documents relating to the Yorkshire Ripper inquiry. They say should any new lines of inquiry emerge, then they will be comprehensively pursued.
The latest revelations may stir past suspicions. Whether they shed light on future investigations, though, is far from clear. Phil Bodmer, BBC Look North.
Oh, with me now is one of the co-authors, Tim Tate. Evidence, Mr Tate, where is it?
It's in West Yorkshire Police headquarters.
But you need to tell me a bit more than that to convince people that this is not just a way to sell books.
That's a very fair question, and no, it's not just a way to sell books. The question about whether there are more victims is absolutely stupid. There have been 3 police internal reports paid for by you and me, the taxpayers, over the past 35 years. All of them have concluded he killed more people than he was ever convicted.
And you're referring to the Byford report, Helliwell in particular?
And Sampson,
yeah.
The very first report by the Assistant Chief Constable. All 3 of those reports all indicated that he had killed more people than he was ever convicted for, and Keith Helliwell's report actually identified them. Funnily enough, he identified the same 22 people that we do.
So you say Sutcliffe began his killing spree a decade before he was convicted. Are you suggesting that police have blood on their hands then?
Absolutely not. I would never suggest that police have blood on their hands. What I would say is that police have refused to release information which should be released.
They say that they met with your co-author Chris Clark last year, but he didn't provide any new evidence. So what is this book based on?
The key word there is new evidence. They have this evidence. It's just that they A, haven't made it public, and B, choose not to progress it.
And why don't they want to do this? If you've got so many cold cases, don't they want these cleared up? Isn't it a straightforward thing?
To be honest, Harry, that's a question you need to ask West Yorkshire Police, not me. We have asked them repeatedly, and not just West Yorkshire Police, because there are forces all over the country with these cold cases, all of which bear the hallmarks of the Ripper.
You say that, though, about murders in the South having the characteristics of Peter Sutcliffe, but is it not possible that someone else would have had a similar method?
It's very unlikely, and what we've done in the book...
But it is likely.
No, I said it's very unlikely.
But there's a small chance there could be.
There's a very, very small chance which converges on 0, and if you let me finish, what we've done in the book is put at the end of the book a table of all the cases showing each of the method of the killings and how many of them match Sutcliffe's MO. The notion that these cases with so many matching MOs would be the work of someone else is almost minuscule.
What would you like to see happen next?
I think the victims, the families of the victims, and indeed the surviving victims, because there were surviving victims who were never given justice, said it much better than we could. We need to see a proper, transparent, public investigation.
Mr Tate, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.